What's up, y'all? And welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today we're talking about Talli, Daughter of the Moon. Now, this series is published by Oni Press, and the story and art is done by, I believe I'm pronouncing this right, Sourya, who is a French Laotian author, which is very dope. So, the cover of this is kind of what initially got my attention when I was just out at the store one day a couple weeks ago, and I was like, that's different. And plus, the orientation of it, with it, the spine being on the opposite side, I was like, okay, what's going on? I opened it up, and it was an actual, manga, and I found out that it's by a French mangaka, which is very dope. Kind of reminds me of another little gem that I love, who is also from a French author named Radiant. Now, speaking of Radiant, the something about the look and style of the characters and stuff kind of reminds me of maybe like a mix of Radiant and Ranking of Kings. Now, this series follows this young lady in the middle, Talli, who she is basically from this mysterious, or she is of a descendant of these mysterious people known as summoners, who basically have magic abilities, but a lot of the world kind of shunned them, and a lot of them were kind of hunted down, basically kind of like witches, so to speak. And so she has kind of been in hiding by this king who adopted her at a young age. And so he's been kind of just hiding her, keeping her hidden away. But of course, news gets out, or rumors start to swirl of who she might be or whatever, or that somebody of her bloodline might be within the council, and so a hunt ensues. And so pretty much this first volume just kind of gets us introduced to our, I'll call them kind of like ragtag group of travelers for our party. So first off, we have her guardian, Alan, with kind of like a mop hair. And then these other two mysterious characters, Mr. Pavel and young, what was his name? Lalo. Now, this group of characters, I love when you kind of encounter some characters along your journey, and some of them might have some mysterious or questionable backgrounds, like Mr. Pavel. We kind of find out that he used to be part of some big famous guild back in the day. Young Lalo, we don't really know like what his deal is, but he has like a couple of interesting things. So like, first of all, he is super awesome and super dope with his sword skills and stuff. But for some reason, he is not able to sleep at night. He sleeps during the day, but not at night. And so we kind of get a hint that we might learn about that a little bit later. But just like some like really interesting cast of characters. And so, so like I said, Talli, her and her protector Alan are kind of on the run from basically these people from the palace that that are trying to hunt her down for whatever reasons. And so so that's kind of like the basic crux of the story, is just these characters trying to escape, while Talli, along her journey, is trying to figure out who she is, what is up with her people, her lineage, and stuff like that. Because so something very interesting that never really crossed my mind, but so with her abilities, we learn that they use blood to summon basically like chimeras and different creatures and stuff. And so traditionally, when the young ladies would come of age, they would kind of like get to go into like this like secluded forest or whatever to kind of like train where there's nobody that they can hurt or whatever. But because she's been kept in the castle, it's kind of hard to hide all the random damages around the castle and all this different stuff, whatever. But something just very interesting, which it makes me kind of think back to other series that might have blood involved with stuff, is, and pardon this part, but she mentions, because during like when they were kind of, they kind of meet this group of people who kind of basically, in secret worship the summoners and basically just like kind of keep their legacy alive through folk tales and different things like that. And so they end up kind of like talking to her about this different stuff, whatever. And so as this stuff is going on, Talli mentions like, yes, so you know how our thing is that we use our blood to summon? Well, she's a woman or a young lady, and when that time of month comes, it leads to problems, it leads to unexpected summons. And so I was like, never would have crossed my mind that that would be a thing, but it makes sense. It legit makes sense. Like I said, like if you think about like the reality of, people using that as a way to summon or whatever, or blood being a factor or whatever, well, then it's like, oh, of course, this might be a thing. So anyway, like I said, I'm not going to dive into that too much. But like I said, that was just like a very interesting like point of contention of, hey, this is something I have no control over my body when this happens, and so I really need to get to training and figure out how to control this stuff, whatever. So, but like I mentioned earlier, the art and stuff in this looks pretty cool and pretty dope. Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I just really like the look and style of it. Of how the characters and these different shots and stuff look. And one last little thing I'll say about this volume that I really enjoyed is I enjoy when like you kind of get to the end of a volume, and it's kind of like hey, learn about the author or about this series or whatever. And so the very back of the volume has a little section called The Making of Talli, which is pretty dope. And so it kind of talks about how the author originally started planning for the series back in 2012, which is basically 10 years ago from now, while they were working on a different project. But different things happened or whatever. It was kind of cool seeing like some early sketches from 2013 of how some of the characters and stuff looked beforehand. So they kind of like make note of like, oh, this character was previously bald. The little boy was a redhead, and so on and so forth. So just kind of getting these kind of like behind the scenes stories and details of how this author went on a journey to first thinking of the idea, the different iterations, kind of putting it on the shelf for many years, and then coming back to it, and then finally, okay, hey, making a pitch for it, and now here we are. I have it. I'm holding it in my hand. But I really appreciate just that behind the scenes, behind the curtain look at this author's journey. And one very, very, very dope thing that I liked, which let me pull it up. So the dope thing is that the author has a freaking Twitch channel. And so, towards the back of the volume, he mentioned, creating Talli also coincided with me starting my live streams on Twitch. Since I work at home, it can be easy to lose my focus and to feel all alone. That's why I decided to start streaming on Twitch. And if you haven't heard of it, it's a site that allows people to live stream videos, yada, yada, yada. And it shows this like very cute imagery of just like his setup and stuff. And then, you can literally watch his Twitch channel where he will just be drawing some of his panels and stuff, whatever. And so I felt like that like this is just like a very awesome and cool way to kind of wrap up this volume to just kind of get like I said, just that behind the curtain peek at the creator of this story that I enjoyed reading this first volume of, and just knowing like, hey, no, he's normal dude like the rest of us. Has had some struggles, feels lonely from time to time, whatever, but is doing this awesome thing, connecting with the community and stuff, whatever, while doing what they love. And so, yeah, so Talli, Daughter of the Moon, is out now. Like I said, from Oni Press. I almost got that wrong. From Oni Press. And like I said, I definitely highly recommend it. Like I said, just something a little bit different. Like I said, especially with it being from a French Laotian author, which is like I said, aside from Radiant, I haven't really gotten to read too many other stories from, or manga, I should say, that aren't specifically in Japan. So, but anywho, if you checked out the series, let me know. If not, let me know. Did I say anything that piqued your interest? But yeah, Talli, Daughter of the Moon. I look forward to reading the next volume, as well as seeing part 2 of what the author is up to and what other things they have going on. Because like I said, that this was just super awesome and super wholesome to find out that they have a Twitch channel. And so yeah, so with that, I am out. Y'all have an awesome day and or week. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.